Yo, how's it going, guys? Today is Sunday while you're watching this, right? Saturday right now. Just finished up training. Super excited. Actually, you know what? Let me just show you guys what I did for training today. So I had some hoisting first, little obstacle course stuff, all right? Little stuff over here, then rope climb, burpee box jump overs, rope climb, 20-pound vest, all right? That was fun stuff. Then I did some bike work, basically just 20 minutes, nice and easy, and then a little pump work over here, all right? So very fun stuff. So the reason why I'm super excited is because just got this piece of equipment that I'm going to use for myself and a couple athletes I train. It is a jump mat. So for those of you who don't know, jump mat, basically it is a device that you put on the ground and has a monitor hooked up to it, has a whole bunch of electrodes in the actual mat. And what it does is it calculates your jump height based off of the flight time that you're in the air. Has a lot of other features too. I won't go into too much into detail, all right? Maybe save that for another time when I actually use it. I'll show you guys just a run through of it today. I'll monitor right over here. Again, jump mat right over here, really basic. You guys would turn on the mat like so. Then again, it has jump 1 time, it has a sprint timer, it has jump 4 times setting, 60 times setting, and a plyometric setting, right? So right now we're just gonna do 1 jump, right? Step on mat. All we're gonna do is put you guys right over here so you guys just see how I would jump on the mat, right? So typically I would do this before I train. I'll explain the whole details behind that after I do this 1 jump. Right now, I just completed a session, so my jump might be off, but all right. All right, so bring you over here. So after you jump on the mat, it calculates your jump height based off of flight time in the air, all right? So basically this is what it reads. So left number is flight time in the air, and then the right is your vertical jump in inches, okay? So again, really cool device, honestly. Like I said, I just had a training session, so my jump height probably is gonna be a little off, obviously, because I just, did a whole workout. So what I'm doing is really interesting, actually. Jump height in general is a measure of power output. So there's plenty of research out there that people use their vertical jump height before a session as a sign of like CNS recovery. So what I'm gonna do is, since I have this in here, for me and my athletes, right now I'm just kind of doing 3 jumps, counter movement, no arm swing, all right, before each session. Kind of get a baseline of where my average jump height is. Once I start getting all that data compiled into like Excel and all that, then I can kind of, measure my jump height before each session, and I can kind of see how well my CNS is recovered before that session, whether I know it's, up the load on my lifting or decrease the load on my lifting, kind of up the intensity, down the intensity, right? Based off of that jump for that given day. A lot of other stuff that you can use to determine like how well a person's recovered. But this is really simple just because, do the same warm up every day, hop on, 3 jumps, counter movement, no arm swing, because you want to take those arms out of the picture just because you want to determine the power output for that lower body. Arms have a really big effect on jump height, right? The bigger the mass of the arms, all right, the stronger your arms are, the more you're going to jump, okay? So arms do play a huge role in jump height, just let you guys know. All right, for those of you who don't know, fun fact of the day, all right? So we want to limit those out of the equation, so all we're going to do is just basically counter movement jump, no arm swing, all right? So I did forget to mention, like I said, it calculates your jump height based off of flight time in the air, but what I forgot to mention is actually how to properly jump. So you guys might have seen in the video too, you notice on when I jumped, it doesn't matter whether you, for the purposes of me demonstrating for you, I use an arm swing and a counter movement. Basically, counter movement is, as soon as you come down, bend those knees right back up, I get all that stored energy in those legs, right? So for the purposes of this jump mat, what it does, like I said, it calculates your jump height based off of flight time. So while you're in the air, you gotta make sure you don't bend your knees at all, right? Either or hinge at the hip or whatnot. Definitely bend them when you land because you need that to absorb all the shock from the jump that you just did, all right? That's the safest way to land, obviously. And as soon as you land, bend those knees, whatever, absorb the shock. But when you're in the air, you can't bend anything. You gotta stay nice and tall just for the fact that if you start bending your legs in the air, then it'll give an inaccurate reading. So let's say, I jump up in the air, I tuck my knees, right? Then it's gonna take me a lot longer for myself to get to the ground, more so just because I have to extend my legs again or whatnot, or even when I land, my legs are already be bent, right? So that'll give an inaccurate reading. It'll actually basically overestimate your jump height, just from that. So jumping on that, legs nice and straight when you reach full extension at the top. So the cool thing about this, like I said, it could be used for recovery between or before each session, right? To kind of test like how well your CNS is recovered. Again, it's a measure of jump height. So what you can do is put an athlete on a cycle, measure their jump height before the cycle starts, right? And then put them on a cycle. Let's say you're trying to increase their power output in their legs, or you're trying to increase the stiffness in the tendons of their ankles, or something like that. You can, retest that jump after the cycle is done. Would say, you're on a 4-week or 6-week, 8-week cycle or whatnot. You can retest really simple. Again, do the same warm-up that you guys did for the start of the cycle, just to make sure everything's consistent and reliable, right? And then after that cycle is done, retest the jump. If you guys, your jump has increased by a substantial amount, again, let's say, you start off at like 25, but you only increase to 26 by the end. Well, is that really a big difference, So you got to make sure your change in jump height is really like, a good change, meaning that it's a meaningful change, just because it can vary a lot between, day to day and whatnot. So you got to make sure that's all set. The monitor that I bought also has a plyometric setting that measures ground contact time. For sports, extremely important, right? Especially stuff that just involves sprinting, right? Because sprinting, a lot of it's determined by the amount of time you're in contact with the ground through each phase, each stride, right? So it's very important that we try to limit that ground contact time. Within, that limitation of that ground contact time, we also want to make sure we're applying enough force, right? So what this plyometric setting has on there is that what it does do is it measures the ground contact time for one setting, and also can measure that vertical jump height. Or there's also a setting where it just measures ground contact time. You can just keep track of that and not necessarily worry about, the vertical jump height of the athlete. So that in itself is really cool too. So again, you're gonna use it on myself. I'm gonna use it on all my athletes too that I coach here at Pro CrossFit, all right? So it'd be very interesting to see. I know my plans later on in late January, after I compete in Miami at Wadapalooza, I'm planning on doing a cycle of just leg extensions, leg curls, and barbell hip thrusts in replacement of squatting in general, just to give my knees and lower back a little bit of a break, all right? Because those can take a beating from all the volume you put on for competitions and whatnot. So my plan is to do that for 4 weeks, also have maybe like 1 or 2 plyo days in there, and I kind of want to see if my squat strength remains the same, as well as my vertical jump height or my power output, my lower body stays the same with the inclusion of those 2 lower body plyo days, right? So using the jump mat for that would be extremely beneficial. Just one, see how I'm recovering from day to day. 2, make sure it's not dropping off significantly, right? And then also those leg extensions and leg curls, barbell hip thrusts to give my knees a good break, and kind of see where my squat is at the end of it. I don't expect obviously any strength increases. That's just not going to happen. But I'm very interested to see how I feel and how maybe like 90% of my squat feels at the end of like the 4 to 6 week cycle, whatever I'm going to put myself on. So it should be fairly interesting. Once I get around to it, I'll videotape that, post it on YouTube, and post like, pre-testing and then results and whatnot. What I'm gonna do probably as a test is do 90% of my back squat and kind of just do like an RPE of it, 90-95%, and then post-cycle I'll do the same exact thing, 90-95% RPE of that. I'm not gonna test a max just because, like I said, I don't expect any strength increases, so like there's no point in me trying to max out after the cycle is done if I don't expect that, I'm trying to just see if I maintain my strength. So I want to see like how 90-95% feels before and after I don't squat, for like 4 to 6 weeks or so. Just doing the leg extension, leg curls, barbell hip thrusts, and those plyo days, right? So I'll let you guys know about that though once I get around to it. Right now I'm just compiling data for my counter movement jumps in Excel right now, using the jump mat before every session, so I can kind of get a baseline of where I'm usually at, right? So that should be fun. I don't know really what else to talk about for the quote-unquote vlog today. I was just really excited I got the jump mat, honestly. Later on today, I'll probably go swimming just because I really need to work on that. I really, really suck at swimming, and for Miami when I compete in January, probably gonna need to get that under wraps. But it should be fun. It's gonna be a fun time. I just, basically right now is me getting comfortable in the water. I'm really bad at swimming. Like I never really learned how to swim. So like I'm like a dog. Like dogs know how to swim, but they just automatically know how to doggy paddle and survive in the water. That's like me. I know how to doggy paddle, but like swimming in general is so foreign to me that I just try to survive and breathe throughout the whole entire thing and see what happens. Hopefully, like, it works out, you know. So, hope you guys enjoyed today. Again, it wasn't really necessarily day in the life or whatever I did last time. It's more so informational kind of about the jump mat and what it does, really. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, all right? Again, please leave a thumbs up if you like the video. Also, leave any suggestions for me, too, in the comments below. Again, I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, so really love it if you guys give me some suggestions, whether it be, you know, me talking more directly to the camera or, you know, including my dogs more in this video because they were not in this video at all, and I know how much everybody loves them, right? I love them too. But maybe I'll test out jump heights for my dogs and see how well they stack up compared to me. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is all for today. I'll see you guys next Sunday. All right? Have a good one.